Hey there, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Welcome back to Old Charles, the channel where we explore the fascinating stories and values behind coins from around the world. Today, we're diving into a very special piece of American history, the 1965 United States Liberty Quarter Dollar. What makes this coin so significant? Could it be worth more than face value today? Let's find out. Before we talk about its value, let's go back in time. The year 1965 was a turning point for U.S. coinage. It marked the first year that the United States Mint began producing quarters without any silver content. Instead, they switched to a copper-nickel composition due to the rising cost of silver in the early 1960s. Prior to 1965, quarters were made of 90% silver and 10% copper. But in 1965, Congress passed the Coinage Act, which removed silver from quarters and dimes altogether. The new composition was 75% copper and 25% nickel on the outer layers, with a pure copper core. This was the birth of what we now call clad coins. Now, let's talk about the design and features of the 1965 Liberty Quarter. On the obverse, or front, we have the iconic image of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. This portrait has been a staple on U.S. quarters since 1932. On the reverse, you'll find the classic bald eagle design, also by John Flanagan, perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches below, a powerful symbol of peace and strength. One interesting fact about the 1965 quarter is that there's no mint mark on it. This is because quarters from that year were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, but to avoid hoarding, the mint marks were omitted. Alright, now let's talk about the part you've been waiting for, the value of the 1965 Liberty Quarter. While most 1965 quarters are common and worth just their face value of 25 cents in circulated condition, there are some exceptions you should know about. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition can fetch higher prices. Coins with minting errors are highly sought after by collectors. Rare transitional errors from 1965, like silver planchet quarters, can be worth thousands. In circulated condition, a 1965 quarter typically holds no extra value due to its high mintage of over 1.8 billion coins. However, if you have an uncirculated quarter in pristine condition, it could be worth anywhere from $3 to $10. But here's where things get exciting. In 1965, a small number of quarters were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964. These rare errors can sell for $7,000 to $10,000 or more at auctions, depending on their condition. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare silver quarters? It's actually pretty simple. First, check the edge of the coin. Regular 1965 quarters will have a visible copper core along the edge, while the silver planchet errors will have a solid silver edge. Second, weigh the coin. A clad 1965 quarter weighs 5.67 grams, but a silver quarter weighs slightly more at 6.25 grams. If you suspect you have a silver quarter, it's worth getting it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. If you're a collector or just getting started, keep an eye out for 1,965 quarters in pocket change or at flea markets. While most are common, finding an error coin or an uncirculated gem can be incredibly rewarding. So, there you have it, the fascinating story and potential value of the 1965 United States Liberty Quarter. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about coins, this quarter is a reminder of how much history can be packed into something as small as the year 1965 marked a critical turning point in U.S. coinage history. It was a time when the United States Mint faced a significant challenge, an unprecedented shortage of silver, which threatened the production of coins. This crisis had been brewing. Hoarding. The transition to the new copper-nickel, clad, quarters wasn't without challenges. To ensure a smooth changeover, the U.S. Mint temporarily halted the use of mint marks on coins from 1965 to 1967. This was done to prevent collectors from hoarding coins based on mint location during this transitional period. The 1965 Liberty Quarter became the first U.S. quarter made without any silver content, symbolizing a new era in American coinage. While some people were disappointed by the loss of silver, others welcomed the change as a practical solution to the silver shortage. Today, the 1965 quarter stands as a reminder of how economic pressures can shape the design, composition, and production of coins. Though it's a common coin in circulation, its historical significance makes it an interesting piece for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. When it comes to determining the value of any coin, condition plays a significant role. Coins are evaluated based on their physical state, from heavily circulated and worn coins to pristine, uncirculated examples. Let's break down the key factors affecting the condition and grading of the 1965 Liberty Quarter. Most 1965 quarters found today have been heavily circulated. These coins show significant wear, with details on George Washington's portrait and the eagle on the reverse becoming smoothed out over time. The coin shows heavy wear, with major details heavily flattened, but the date and primary designs are still visible. Slightly more detail remains, but the overall appearance is still worn and lacks sharpness. Moderate wear is visible, but the primary features of Washington's profile and the eagle's feathers are more distinct. And these lower grades, 1965 quarters, are typically only worth face value, 25 cents, because of their high mintage and lack of rarity. That have never been circulated hold significantly higher value, especially if they have retained their original luster. Uncirculated coins are graded using the mint state, MS, scale, ranging from MS 60 to MS 70. No wear is visible, but the coin may have noticeable contact marks or minor blemishes. The coin has strong eye appeal, minimal contact marks, and nearly full luster. These coins are rare, exhibiting exceptional sharpness, full luster, and no significant imperfections. An uncirculated 1965 quarter in MS 65 condition can sell for $10 to $25, depending on market demand. Coins graded MS 67 or higher can fetch significantly more, sometimes exceeding $100 at auctions. One of the most exciting conditions for the 1965 quarter is when it contains mint errors. These coins are highly sought after by collectors. A small number of 1,965 quarters were mistakenly struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from 1964. These coins are incredibly rare and can sell for $7,000 to $10,000 or more depending on their grade. Coins struck off-center due to a misaligned die are valuable, with prices ranging from $50 to $500 based on the extent of the error. These are rarer for the 1965 quarter but can be worth hundreds to thousands of dollars if the doubling is pronounced and noticeable. Accurately assess the condition and value of your 1965 Liberty Quarter. Professional grading is highly recommended. Trusted grading services like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, and NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, can provide an official grade, which increases buyer confidence and often boosts the coin's market value. Use a magnifying glass or coin loop to check for wear, scratches, or errors. Uncirculated coins will have a shiny, reflective surface, while circulated coins often appear dull. Look for signs of damage or unusual features like a missing copper core. Error coins struck on silver planchets will weigh 6.25 grams, compared to 5.67 grams for regular clad quarters.